A lot of folks across America, including myself, are asking the question, where is the guy I voted for? I can't believe that candidate Obama became the president who was browbeating Democrats to extend the Bush tax cuts for the wealthy. Quite a turnaround, isn't it? Mr. President, millions of Americans were inspired by your campaign and your promise to bring change to Washington. You've tried, but the party of no has held a lot of stuff up, right? The liberal base carried you through an epic primary fight. The base barnstormed for you in general, just got after it. They gave money, and they knocked on doors. And they helped you win 9 Bush states. In 2007, nobody thought it would ever happen. You proved them wrong with the help of the very people you were lecturing to today. I think this president has lost touch with the people who got him elected. He needs a liberal conference. I guarantee that none of the people who lined up on the mall in the dead of winter to see you inaugurated were full of hope and change, that another tax cut for the rich was on the way, and that the unemployed Americans in this country would be held hostage. They would be a bargaining chip. Joining me now is Reverend Jesse Jackson, president of the Rainbow Push Coalition. Reverend, good to have you with us tonight. You told me earlier today that you feel like you've been let down. What did you mean by that?
Well, the president, in his rush to avoid confrontation, it seems, cut a deal with the Republicans before he met with Democrats on his own base. You never should have allowed a linkage between the workers' benefits needs and the tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires. I could very well see this president going to 8 or 10 places around the country, asking the people, do you want a tax cut for the very wealthy, or do you want your job benefits? He would have won that public debate. That's not an inside Washington meeting. That is a take your case to the people. And that did not happen. And so now you see Republicans rejoicing and Democrats rebelling.
He was borderline, the president was borderline combative today. Somewhat out of his normal decorum, if I may. He's angry at liberals. Is he angry at the wrong people?
Well, of course, I think that today he has been hit more directly by liberals and by change agents than ever before. So it's a kind of reaction. But he is our guy. It seems that the meeting he had with the McConnell should have been met with the Reeds and with the Congress and with the independents first, then meet with them. Because fundamentally, what you're looking at now is while you focus on more those who didn't want the deficit now getting more deficit. In the meantime, 59 million Americans don't have health insurance, and 49 million are in poverty, and 41 million are on food stamps. So it seems that the poor are not even on the agenda, and that is where the base and the inspiration comes from.
Reverend, do you think it's worth the fight? Should the president have said, I'm not going to give it to the rich no matter what you want. If this stalls everything, that's the way it's going to be. Do you think he should have done that? Because he's making the case that the economy could not take it, the middle class couldn't take it, and he had to cut this deal. Do you agree with that?
Some fights you have to fight. It's better to lose fighting the right fight than win fighting the wrong fight. And I say separating the tax cut for the wealthy from jobless benefits is a fight that should be fought. And given his considerable skills, to go to 10 places around the country and have mass rallies. Do you want your tax benefits for Christmas, or do you want tax cuts for the wealthy? He would have won that public. His strength is not in Washington. It's in those who sent him to Washington.
And finally, Reverend, there's a lot of African Americans in this country, black Americans, who are so emotionally connected to President Obama. How hard is it for you to come out tonight and say you've been let down? How hard is it for you to say that he's got to politically fight? And where do you draw the line between advice, support, and being too critical, in your opinion?
You know, protest makes good presidents great. Dr. King supported Kennedy over Nixon. We still had to fight for public accommodations. Supported Johnson or Goldwater. We still had to march for the right to vote. And so those of us who love him and supported him cannot lose leverage, because our leverage helps him be strong. And I would hope that he would see it just that way. Those who are saying, put the focus on the 59 million who have no health insurance, 49 who are in poverty. I mean, that's the King's tradition, the 41 million who are now on food, because in that crowd of 2 million are Tea Potters, and Republicans and Democrats, he would win that, and he may have to, because it seemed that Democrats might not buy this deal. So when you go next, take the case to the public.
So am I hearing from you tonight in a different way that this has been a real political miscalculation on the part of the White House?
His strength is not inside Washington. It's outside Washington.
Yes.
Washington never have embraced him. The people are his power base. The 2 million, I say time for it's about 8 million people are looking at the Christmas without the basic necessities of gifts and cars and the like. That is his base, and they can still be rallied. They must be rallied for what? Their own best interest, which is, I'm concerned that we bail out the banks without the lending and reinvestment. The insurance companies got the big deal without public options. Now they're getting extension of the tax cut while the Democrats upset. I think that's a miscalculation.
Reverend Jackson, good to have you on tonight.
Ed, I'm not going to ride you about the bears tonight, but let me say that our hearts go out for Elizabeth Edwards.
Yes.
Because she lived with dignity. She lived with dignity. She died with grace, and she never, even now, has stopped teaching. May God bless her soul and let her soul rest in peace for Elizabeth Edwards tonight.
Put so well, Reverend. Thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it.